Hello, 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 hello. Yes, it's me. Of course, the old git, aka Mike Hall. And today's rant, because that's all I come out for. I'm an old git. They know me as the old git most places. Here comes the old git discussing politics again. Yes, that's me, but I am sort of, how can I say, I'm sort of really, really into it, and I kind of care what happens in Great Britain. And right now, I think that Great Britain is at a precipice. Is that the right word? It's at the edge, and it could go one way or the other. So today is not so much as a rant as a debate. And what it is basically, a debate over whether Rupert Lowe and his newly formed party Restore Britain should step aside for Reform UK in the Makerfield by-election because it's divided the right-wing voters, which this is what it's done, and I think that was what he wants to do. Now, the argument for standing aside rests on a fundamental piece of political arithmetic, because, as you see in the first poll that came out, that I think Reform are at about 20, and Andy Burnham, yes, is at number 23 or 25. And here, Mr. Rupert Lowe, all fair play to him for getting something like 7%, which means if he was to stand back and these right-wing voters, a lot of them would go over to Reform, and maybe we could get rid of Andy Burnham, because believe me, he's going to do nothing for Makersfield. He's going to do nothing at all. He's just basically going to use him as a stepping stone. He'll promise him the earth and do nothing. And if you've watched my previous video on the subject of Andy Burnham, which shows you the failures that he's gone through in his political career, and the things, some of them have been big ones, like, I don't want to go into that because this is totally different, but just quickly say, grooming gangs, 80,000 arrests under his watch, Greater Manchester Police, also paperwork that was hidden and lost, okay? The NHS scandal, excessive debts, the ULEV thing that he spent $100,000 on and then cancelled. But that's not what we're going to talk about today, because both parties are appealing to similar voters. They're two sides of the same coin. What it is, here we've got the Reform candidate who's been selected by Nigel Farage and his crew, a local plumber called Robert Kenyon. Very nice guy. People have already tried to discredit him, but he's very well liked in the area. He's a local man. He's a working man. He understands what people want in that area. But on the other hand, you still got the Restore candidate, which is this lady, Rebecca Shepherd. Now, again, she's fielding as a local businesswoman, Rebecca Shepherd, and I think also she's well respected and she's well known in the area. Now, for me, I think that Robert should take it, not because he's better than the lady, but because tactically it would do a great service for the country. Now, I say that because I actually do believe it. I believe that the country is going to rack and ruin. It really is. And what we've got to realise is that many analysts warn that splitting the populist and anti-establishment vote could ultimately hand historically safe constituency to Labour. So Makersfield could become, Andy Burnham could shoot down the middle because of the divided vote, because it's so close, this vote. Now, from the perspective, uniting behind one candidate, it seems essential to defeating the Labour Party and forcing a broader national change. It's imperative, that's a big word for me, that you actually do this. And it's if the vote gets split and Andy Burnham gets in, well, I'll stop bothering about England, because England, one way or the other, is going to disappear up its own orifice, basically. Now, what it is, I mean, look, Rupert Lowe, he has his fan club, and however, his supporters reject the spoiler narrative. They don't want to do that. They contend that Restore Britain and Reform UK campaign on different issues and attract distinctive group of voters, which is completely bullcrap. They're both the same voters, really. They're not, they're not voting for anything. They want to get rid of Labour and they want a decent government to represent them. Furthermore, Lowe, who's the MP for Great Yarmouth, has pointed out that they've had success of Restore in Britain on local council elections. Great, well done, Rupert, well done. But you're not having the impact on this election that's needed to get rid of this horrible government, the Labour government, this Starmer government, and replace it with another Stasi. And you've got to understand, and I've said this before, Andy Burnham is exactly the same as Keir Starmer, because they're both Fabians, as are 2/3 of the Labour government, and they really want you to fail because their philosophy is to rebuild from nothing. Okay, now he and his party maintained that voters deserve genuine choice and criticised Reform UK for becoming too personally driven, arguing that true patriots acts on principle rather than tactical voting. No, that's an excuse for not voting. It's you, the supporters of Rupert Lowe, who will be doing him a favour if you don't vote for his candidate now. Because this clash of the arguments regarding strategy, let's have a look at this. The ego risk of vote splitting, many political analysts argue that competing centre-right or right-wing factions can divide the opposition vote, which we've just said, and they can. The division, no doubt, will make it easier for the Labour Party to win or retain the seats under the first past the post electoral system. Now, I know them two have got their own. Let's play like big boys here, right? Rupert, you're a patriot, okay? And Nigel, you've worked hard to get rid of this government. You may have your personal differences, but you have to stop. You have to stop and think. Now, the clash of personalities that Lowe and Farage have are just personal difference. And their critics are frequently suggesting that high-profile figures may prioritise personal branding, media attention, or absolute ideological purity over pragmatic electoral coalition that should more effectively challenge the government. Now, I said that all in one go, but you understand what I'm saying. Put these things aside. You have to put these things aside. I mean, disruption versus compromise. That's what you've got to think about. From the perspectives, a failure to form pacts or step aside in key constituencies directly undermines the broader goal of removing this incumbent government from power, this low-down son of a bitch's government. And you know what I'm talking about. So think about it. Stop playing, I'm better than you, I'm bigger than you. It's got to stop. And there's other effects. Now look, there they are, both Farage and Lowe. And it's pretty clear that Rupert Lowe is putting ego over the good people of the nation. I think he is a true patriot, I really do. But he's cutting off his nose to spite his face. Think about this. If Labour get into Makersfield, Lowe will become very unpopular. And this could affect the future of his party, because he will be responsible for dividing the vote, not Farage, because he's almost there. And Rupert Lowe has got absolutely no way of winning Makersfield. So he should be playing his own tactics here. He could be the man who helped Labour stay in power and get rid of Labour. And he could be the man who could get rid of Labour and work towards a general election. With Mr Lowe could fight on level terms with his party. That could be by the next election, which could be quick if Burnham doesn't get voted in. And I think Rupert Lowe will then be more ready to face an election, a general election. And then, all's fair in love and war. They can battle it out between them, if that's what they want to do. But they must be, and then I've just got to say this, if they do decide to stand both parties in a general election, they're on a level playing field. Right now they're not, because this government's going to screw everybody up if Burnham gets in. And Rupert Lowe, you're the man, you're the key. You could stop this. You could be the bigger man. Because most of the votes would go, on your say-so even, to reform, and that would be it. And I'm sure, irrespective of what your differences are between you two men, I think Nigel Farage would be grateful, and it would stand in good stead for you in the future. Right now, it's not standing in good stead for you, because you're the man who could put Labour into that constituency, and Andy Burnham, who's just as bad. So be the bigger man. At this junction, I know that Rupert Lowe is a gentleman. I know that he has morals and scruples. Please, Rupert, I'm begging you, right, do the right thing. Get rid of this Labour government one way or the other. But at least if you are seen to be the bigger man and you step aside with your candidates, then in the future, well, they'll say, look what Rupert Lowe did. Look at what Rupert Lowe did. They will say that. I'm not saying anything against Nigel Farage, because I think he's brilliant too. I think he's been in politics for 25 years. He's done more out of politics than any politician's ever done in politics. So there's two great men who just can't get along. There is a third, which is, of course, Ben Habib, and he's a voice of common sense. But again, personalities clash. Three great men who would be so fantastic for this country if they were all together. If that's not to be, at least do something for the electorate. Do something for the people of the great country of the UK. Because I'm telling you now, if something isn't done soon, and if Burnham does get in, you will see such a change in the UK for the worse, as if it couldn't get any worse, but it will, because Burnham is a failure. He's failed at everything he's done. Okay, he's not the king of the north. I think they'll be glad to see the back of him. But then again, he's being bigged up as the saviour of the Labour Party. He isn't. And just think on this, folks. If they do get rid of Burnham, you've got Rayner, you've got West Streeting, and who's the other one? But it doesn't really matter. Mendelssohn. No, not Mendelssohn. He's sacked. Streeting, Rayner. Who's the other one? I can't really. Oh, Miliband. Ed Miliband. Yeah. Well, can you imagine if any of them got in? But those are not strong enough to lead the party. None of them. And I think they would have to call a general election. And then, there you go. You've sorted it out. Your differences may not be sorted out, but then you're both the Reform and Reform and the other one? I keep saying it wrong, you know. Restore and Reform could work on level playing field. So that's my rant today. It's not a long one. It's quite short as it goes, but I had to come on and do it. Sorry about the any background noise, but it's bleeding hot over here in Spain today. Don't forget to like it, share it, and do all the things that you clever people do. You can watch this on Rumble, Substacks, YouTube. I don't know where. OC or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, watch it there. Please like, please watch, And as I said in my last video, I want to buy some more equipment. Don't forget, I do this all on my own, and I'm a pensionista, and I want to buy some more equipment. So any donations, put it in my tip jar or wherever you find it where you can pay me some money. Rumble, you can pay me money there, only bits and pieces, so that I can get the equipment I want and make it more fantastic. And for God's sake, you'll be seeing more of the old git. Don't forget, the TV's on 24/7. 24 hours a day you can watch Best Before TV. You can get in touch with me at X at Best Before T or bestbeforetv@gmail.com. That's it. Have a great day, and until the next time I see you, hopefully you've done something about this situation, been sensible, and knocked their heads together, or whatever it is you have to do to make this thing right. We have to get rid of Labour. Okay, that's it. And let's start from scratch with a government who thinks about its people and not globalism and Fabianism. Okay, till then, take care, be good, and I'll see you soon.